So shared ownership can be a fantastic way onto the property ladder, but there are a few things they don't always shout about. So if you've passed the initial financial checks, first off, congratulations, you've done the hard part. But before you commit, here's what I'd be looking at if I were you. First up, and this sounds a bit obvious, but it catches people out. You're not buying the whole property, you're buying a share, usually something between 25 and 75%. And you pay a mortgage on your share and rent on the rest. So your monthly cost is a combination of both. And then second up, and this is the one a lot of people miss, that rent you're paying, it usually increases every year. Often something like RPI plus 0.5% or 1%. So over time, your payments can creep up, even if your mortgage stays the same. And thirdly, and this is the stinger, especially with flats or new builds, you could have service charges, ground rent, maintenance costs, and these can increase, sometimes quite sharply. So always make sure you ask, what are they now? What have they been historically? And then there's my favourite one, staircasing. And this means buying more of the property later. Sounds great in theory, but in reality, you buy at market value at the time. But in reality, you're buying at market value at the time that you opt to do the staircasing. So you're not buying at the price you originally paid. And you need to do legals each time, which costs money, a big chunk of money sometimes. So if prices go up, it costs you more to increase your share. And lastly, when you come to sell the thing, the housing association usually gets first refusal or has a nomination period to find a buyer. That can limit the pool of buyers, it can slow things down. It's not always as simple as just sticking it on Rightmove. So if I was sitting down with you to go through a shared ownership proposition, I'd be asking, how is the rent reviewed and increased? What are the service charges now and projected? Are there any major works planned? What are the rules on staircasing? And what happens when we want to sell? And most importantly, what does this look like in 5 to 10 years' time, not just today? Now, don't get me wrong, shared ownership can be a brilliant stepping stone, especially in expensive areas where buying outright just isn't realistic. But it's not a cheap version of buying. It's just a different structure with its own pros and cons. So if you're looking at shared ownership and want someone to run through the numbers with you properly, then drop me a like and a follow and hit the links in my bio to get in touch. I'm Patrick Weightman, your local East Midlands mortgage and protection advisor, serving clients up and down the UK. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.